Can you believe this? The owner of one of the most popular social media apps, Telegram, has been arrested. You know why? For being the owner of a social media app and maybe upsetting Israelis. And this ludicrous act has taken place not in a failed country somewhere in Africa, Asia, or Arab world, but in France. In fact, the current Gaza crisis and the Western countries' willful participation in the genocide of innocent Palestinians, including babies, has shown that Africa, Asia, and the Arab world are far more civilized than the corrupt West. Now, coming back to the billionaire's arrest, his name is Pavel Durov, and he owns the instant messaging app Telegram, and I'm sure you would be using this app. I have used it for many, many years and would prefer Telegram over WhatsApp any day. The reasons, unlike WhatsApp, which falsely claims to have your messages encrypted and therefore ensures privacy, Telegram actually has fought for users' privacy all these years. The platform is believed to have more than 1 billion users worldwide. Unlike WhatsApp, you can send any length of audio or video without losing their quality. Durov is just 39 years of age and has earned global fame for upsetting some of the most powerful people, including Vladimir Putin, in the past. The French authorities today arrested him. You know why? Because Telegram users have allegedly used the platform for drug trafficking, child sexual content, and fraud. And because the Telegram's users have allegedly used the platform for such activities, the owner must be punished and arrested. That's the French logic for you. And you thought these countries had their legal justice system based on common sense? There are reports that Durov will now be charged with exactly the same crimes, i.e., drug trafficking, child sexual content, and fraud. Seriously, punishing Durov for the alleged crimes of his platform's users is like punishing the owners of French car companies such as Renault and Citroën for the crimes committed by the car owners or drivers. Talking about the French car companies, why did French authorities not arrest the owners of these cars, since these cars may have been used for the drug trafficking after allegedly striking the deal on Telegram? I mean, common sense and logic are dead in these so-called civilized Western nations? I didn't know that. So why did I say that Durov may have been arrested possibly at the behest of Israelis? That's because there is a history and compelling reasons. Durov, who is a Russian, he founded Telegram in 2013 but had to flee the country in 2014 because he refused to share the Telegram's code, which has users' data, with Putin. You have to admire this man for taking such a principled stand. You must also admire his consistency. If one country he could have shared the users' data with, this would have been the country of his birth, Russia. But he chose to go into exile rather than compromise with his principles. After leaving Russia, he traveled around the world to find a suitable home for himself. He explored Germany, even America, before settling in the UAE. He currently lives in Dubai. He now has dual nationalities of France and the UAE. Given the popularity of Telegram, I am not surprised that both Ukrainian and even Russians heavily rely on this platform to share information and other key materials. Even Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is an active user of this platform. This platform became an incredibly powerful tool for journalists and experts to use it to document Israeli genocide in Gaza. And because Telegram had become such a powerful platform to document Israeli war crimes, can you escape global persecution? This was the headline of a US-based news portal, NPR, in October. What this website did was immediately linked Telegram to Hamas. Its headline read, "The Telegram app has been a key platform for Hamas. Now it's being restricted there." That's the headline. It's not a headline, it's a statement from the news website. It also highlighted the report highlighted that some of the Hamas-linked channels had amassed hundreds of thousands of subscribers and sent out graphic images and videos of the war, in addition to calls to action from Hamas members. That was a part of the report. This and other similar media reporting prompted Apple Store and Google Play Store to start applying pressure on Telegram to ban any accounts remotely linked to Hamas. This was widely seen as an attempt to stop Palestinian journalists from using the platform to document Israeli genocide. Now you know why Israelis have brutally murdered 116 Palestinian journalists in just 10 months of conflict. That is nearly 12 journalists murdered every month. Can you think of any other conflict where journalists were targeted so brutally and the world is silent? The so-called champion of freedom of speech is silent, absolutely blind. Anyway, in November, Apple and Google, both US-based entities, forced Durov to act by restricting access to these channels. Durov had all along defended his decision to not act against these Hamas channels in the past. But he forgot that he didn't own these Play Stores, did he? It's not a coincidence that the Americans have been actively trying to poach key members of his team to break into the security of Telegram. I'm not saying this. This is what Durov told US journalist Tucker Carlson recently.
We get too much attention from the FBI, the security agencies, wherever we came to the US. So to give you an example, last time I was in the US, I brought an engineer that is working for Telegram, and there was an attempt to secretly hire my engineer behind my back by cybersecurity officers or agents, wherever they are called.
The U.S. government should hire your engineer?
That's my understanding. That's what he told me.
To write code for them or to break into Telegram?
They were curious to learn which open source libraries are integrated to the Telegram's app, on the client side, and they were trying to persuade him to use certain open source tools that he would then integrate into the Telegram's code that, in my understanding, would serve as backdoors.
Would allow the U.S. government to spy on people who use Telegram?
The U.S. government, or maybe any other government, because a backdoor is a backdoor regardless of who is using it.
That's right.
And
that's a little surprising to hear. Maybe it's not surprising. It's offensive. You're confident that happened?
Yes.
I'm not saying that Israelis are indeed behind the latest development, but the action by French authorities simply do not add up. It doesn't make sense. Have you used X, formerly known as Twitter, or Facebook or Instagram? These platforms have become cesspit for hate speech, bigotry, and even pornography. Can you ever think the same Western countries arresting Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg? Musk was shamelessly provoking the right-wing thugs by using his personal social media platform X to set the entire UK on fire recently. He's still doing so with impunity. But can he ever be arrested, even though his criminal act had disturbed peace and endangered the lives of hundreds of thousands of people living in the UK? Durov is an easy target because he is Russian and his action has upset Israelis and Americans in the past. And if you upset Israelis and Americans, can the European poodles in the political class of the UK, France, and Germany be far behind? That's it from me now. I am absolutely overwhelmed by your appreciation of my journalism on buymecoffee.com. If you think that this journalism is worth supporting, then you too can consider buying me coffee. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.